Alex Jones, once a nuisance, but now the voice of reason. That's a hot take, if I ever heard one. You may remember Alex Jones. He was in the headlines quite a while back, and he is back. And not back from another country, may I add. A certain somebody who defected to another country many, many years ago now and said they would never come back is back. And not that I care so much about her, but I think you might. I think you might. And to top it all off, you know him as the kid from Holes. He's back in the headlines. He took some time away, and I'm kind of happy he's back. You know him as Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf. My buddy thinks I look like Shia LaBeouf. Everybody thinks I look like Shia LaBeouf. So today I shaved my mustache off to look like anybody but Shia LaBeouf, because what makes you unique is you. And don't forget that, because the most important part of today's episode is what makes you so amazing. What makes you so amazing? I know what makes me amazing because I failed a lot and I suck at a lot. And I never give up on things that mean something to me. And I notice that a lot of people in this world these days are kind of quite the opposite. They throw in the towel when things get hard and nothing really means anything. Everything is so disposable, especially friendships, especially relationships. And you may have heard of situationships. I'm back. I'm Anthony Cassess, and I'm your host. And I couldn't be more excited to be here. We're up over 90 subscribers on my late night channel. And it's really exciting because I put up this crappy little backdrop one day, hung a curtain rod, put on some nice little curtains, and said, I'm going to do the thing. And I wasn't really sure what that thing was, but I'm doing it. You see, you can't be so focused on the things you have no control over. Sometimes just starting is a great jumping off point. Just starting is a great jumping off point. And we've got a great episode ahead for you tonight because Alex Jones somehow is being framed as the voice of reason. This is the same person that was named in the Epstein files. You think we were going to go an episode without talking about the Epstein files? It's all the craze, man. Get your Epstein files in, Create your content on Epstein. Who's not creating content about Epstein? If you're not creating Epstein content, you're just going to get left behind. He was named in the Epstein files back in 2016. That's 18 years ago, which is pretty impressive math for somebody who thinks calendars are CIA. Well, we won't get into that, but nevertheless, Alex Jones in the headlines. And, I think he's got some pretty scary points of view. Somehow he was listed in the Epstein files as a disruptive threat to global pedophile power structure. That's a mouthful. All I know is all the pedophiles should rot on an island far away from any of us. I know that's maybe controversial for some people, but instead we're too busy entertaining what the hell the latest on Pam Bondi is. We know she's quacked. We know she's whacked. We know Alex Jones is off his rocker. People are never going to get the justice that they deserve. But I do believe in due diligence and to be vigilant because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you are not annoying in this world and you are not willing to push the boundaries and make some noise, you will not get anything done. You will not get anything done. You can't roll over. Why would you roll over and give up and wave your white flag? You're not going to get anything done, and that's not good. That's just not good because, look, the world needs more loudness. And not the bad loudness, but, And I'm not mad about it because we all know that Epstein's HR was probably on that island like, this guy, he keeps yelling. What do we do with him? Put him on a jet ski. Give him a couple things to do and maybe he'll disappear, but sadly, Alex Jones is making waves back in the headlines, and maybe it's a good thing. Maybe that's controversial to say. But I don't think it's such a terrible thing. I mean, at this point, if Alex Jones tells me that the sky is blue, I'm going to squint pretty hard just to check. You better believe that. In other news, one of our favorites, maybe not so favorites, it could be you. good job. Hey you, good job. When you do the Trump thumbs up, you gotta go, you gotta bring it forward, you know? That's his early onset dementia, or late onset, who knows? Everybody has their freaking controversies and whatnot, you know? And it's not looking good because Rosie O'Donnell's back. Hey, as long as Ellen DeGeneres doesn't come back, I think we'll be okay, but there's really no telling. There is truly no telling. I think it's pretty scary because, look, apparently if you're famous enough, you can just wander into the woods and disappear and come back politically refreshed. And that's pretty strange. That's pretty strange. She didn't really flee the country, though. She just kind of rage quit America and was like, I'm not coming back. Well, look, if you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. And I mean that from the heart. Because you should never force something that doesn't belong. Make noise, but understand when to throw in the towel. It's pretty important. My favorite part of today's episode is Meanwhile, we've got Kennedy. Oh, gosh. How did Kennedy... I can't believe we have to talk about all these politics, but hopefully it sheds some light on how fucked up these people are. Because they are truly fucked up. He said on this past weekend's podcast with Theo Von, he said, I'm not scared of germs. I snorted cocaine off of toilet seats. I'm not making this shit up. The more you know, people, the more you know. I don't know whether this is the bravest thing I've ever seen or the worst Yelp review of addiction recovery. I'm all for turning the page and trying to do it again, but that's pretty scary. This is somebody in power, somebody who's running our country. And so look, maybe this is the best pickup line at a courthouse bar. Maybe that's true. Honestly, I'm saving it for my next job interview. And you should too. So how do you handle pressure, they might ask? Well, you could say, I once trusted a political restroom with my immune system. The more you know. The more you know. I'm Anthony Cassess. It's late nights. What are we doing here? You and me, we do this silly thing every week. If you're new here, you're going to want to subscribe. And make sure you pick up the latest copy of my book, Mixed Feelings. Great little book here. This is a great little number. I wrote this thing. It took me some time. This is my first book. It's a great book. You don't want to miss it. I really laid it on the line. I did something I don't do very often these days. I talked about my feelings. It was a vulnerable time in my life. I had just lost my dad. I was going through a bad breakup. And I was trying to find myself. And what were the worst circumstances of my life actually were the catapult and the catalyst for this. For how far I've come. So don't forget that even though you feel like a failure, and if you do feel like a failure, you should ask yourself, what makes you amazing? What makes you amazing? Because there's so much that makes you beautiful in so many ways. Are you kind to yourself or are you harsh? Are you consistent or are you lousy? Are you disciplined? Because discipline is what you owe to yourself. It may be hard, but failure, in the great words of Rick Rigsby, he said, are a foundation. Failure is a foundation for success. It is the person who comes up off the canvas and tries to do better. And you can never stop trying to do better. People say, don't wait till tomorrow. I mean, don't wait for tomorrow either. But don't stop trying again and again and again. Tomorrow, again and again and again until you get what you want in this world. Give yourself that credit. Give yourself that credit. And finally, our best and favorite part of today's episode is Shia LaBeouf. I haven't heard of Shia LaBeouf in a lot of years. I thought he fell off the face of the earth, but it turns out he's been terrorizing Mardi Gras all week. Shia LaBeouf has been terrorizing Mardi Gras. Now there's a sentence I never thought I'd say. The peanut butter falcon star terrorizing Mardi Gras. Shia LaBeouf actually got arrested after getting his ass handed to him and went back to partying. It kind of reminds me of about a friend from college. Every time I brought this friend somewhere, he would just get the shit kicked out of him. And I would say to him, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You just like getting your ass handed to you? Pretty crazy. At this point, maybe Shia LaBeouf doesn't need therapy. You know, maybe he doesn't need therapy. Maybe he needs Alex Jones as a life coach or something, right? Maybe Rosie O'Donnell as his dietitian. I don't know. You ask yourself questions, I ask myself questions. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Crazy stuff, you Shia LaBeouf boy. You better stay out of the news. Better get back to talking about your feelings. You were doing a whole lot better when you were all like, dude, get your life together stuff. There's never a bad time to talk about your feelings. In fact, I love talking about my feelings. But I did find as I got older, people didn't want to hear about my bullshit. And people don't want to hear about your bullshit either. But that's not up to you to decide. Put it out there. Who cares? Let them decide whether or not they want to take to you, whatever it is. And that what brings me back to my initial question. What makes you amazing? What makes you amazing? I think what makes me amazing are some qualities that I had to literally write out. Being consistent, being discerning, knowing when to step in and step back, right? That consistency piece. It's about being disciplined, knowing that you want that thing, but you can't have it right now. So you have to do all the things that get you to it. Little things compounding over time. It's pretty amazing how life works when you give yourself a chance. And just being kind, which is wild because we live in a country right now where discerning is called elitist. I hate that we label everything. It makes me feel like I don't know what side to pick. What side's available? I ask myself, Republican, Democrat. I don't even know. It used to be that simple. Now it's like, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, you're ding, the ding, the ding, the ding. I don't even know. I don't even want to be involved. I'm scared. I feel like I need to ask Alex Jones for advice. And that's fucking crazy. I should check myself in. Consistency, suspicious. And kindness means you're about to sell somebody a course. But hey, look. If Alex Jones can get back on the horse and Rosie O'Donnell can come back to the country and Shia LaBeouf can get his ass kicked at Mardi Gras and, you heard it right, terrorize the world, then you can do anything too. And I hope you remember that about yourself, because what makes you amazing is who you are. And that's not something to take lightly. I know I sure don't take it lightly because I'm pretty hard on myself. And I've learned from being so hard on myself and from failing and trying again and getting back up and always trying again and being consistent that you still have to be kind to yourself at the end of the day. I'm Anthony Cassess. This is Late Nights. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and listening to my ridiculous rants every week. We'll be back here next week with another ridiculous rant. Till next time. See you soon.